Anyway, my intro didn't want to work, so here we are. Yo, Flurfs, what's up? Good to see you all. Thank you for coming. Glad you could make it. Yeah, this is the after show of the debate. I wouldn't really call it a debate, though, because it was very one-sided. But yeah, what do you guys have to say? We got Ryan in, we got Luca, we got Roger, Dave, and PJ just popped in as well. What's up, man?
What a
Thanks
mess.
for taking over on your channel, by the way, PJ. I appreciate it.
Say again.
¿Qué pasó, amigo?
Thanks for taking it over on your channel. I appreciate it because
Oh,
I just think it's time to work.
It was working, Flats. It was just your
Very muffled.
very muffled. So I just thought, oh well, I didn't want to be cheeky. I did try and tell you, but I thought I'll just do it. I'll just do it anyway. But I thought you'd be all right about it.
No, when I saw you were live on yours, then I exited mine as well.
Yeah, dude, you smashed it. I mean, come on, that was a mess up. He said thought the guy was a flat earther, and then he had to do the moon landing hoax thing. Vicky got a little bit upset because underneath your name and the other guy and Marcus's name it said hoax, and underneath FTFE's name and Darryl's name it said legit. Vicky thought it was taking the piss out of you guys, like you guys.
No, it was to say
affirmative. I told her, and she was like, "Oh, I get it."
But yeah, Marcus, really nice guy. I actually had like 5 minutes discussion with him after the debate. Now,
brilliant,
very nice guy. We're gonna actually do a stream together sometime as well.
Nice, and I think you should have been more respectful to him. More respectful.
Oh yeah, Marcus, he puts a lot of effort in. He's done years of this stuff.
But he just treated him like a piece of crap. I mean, he was an older, wiser guy. The guy's a nice guy. Have a bit of respect, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
Well, you see, at the end of the day, what did we observe? Darryl just, I don't know, he has some weird obsession to try and paint me as dishonest. That was all his rebuttal the whole night. He shut up, and when he spoke, it was attacking me and my character.
Can I just say?
Yeah.
It was only because he was under pressure and because you proved it and he couldn't deny it. But respect-ish to Craig for admitting that you did show the full amount and it was only 4 frames, not 11. You know what I mean? But I think he would carried on with the same narrative if you hadn't have proved it. But
I found it very funny. I don't know if you guys saw Darryl's face when I showed the video.
Oh,
it shows you he's never actually watched the video. He just does what every other anti-flat earther does.
Absolutely.
Just parrot what he's heard from people saying I'm dishonest and done something, but he's never actually looked for himself that's the truth.
And the thing is as well, right? They're still trying to bring up something that happened nearly 5 years ago to try and discredit someone.
But it's fine because the more they're doing it, they're giving my channel exposure.
Of course, but it shows how desperate they are.
Show me a channel, anti-flatter channel out there that doesn't know the name Flatzoid.
Well, that's it.
Yeah. Don't raise your hand, Luke.
You're not an anti-flat earther, man. You're a flat earther.
Yeah, that's why you're here.
Keith.
So what is your thoughts, Luca, on the debate?
I wanted to go on the after show to discuss something that happened at the start about the 6 astronauts that had conflicting statements.
Oh, was it what they saw of the stars or not?
Yeah.
I saw pitch black myself. No stars.
Can you bring that up?
Yeah, let me get it up again. It's because remember, this wasn't we would originally have done the moon landing debate, but then they changed it to flat versus globe, and that's why I didn't have. Then I'd set my presentation up for flat versus globe, not the moon landing. So this was an old.
You were going to do flat versus globe.
Originally, originally it was flat versus globe. I mean, originally it was moon landing. Yeah, originally it was moon landing. Then it happened that they changed it flat versus globe. So then I did a presentation based on flat versus globe. Luckily, I had this old presentation from a while back Otherwise, I would have done a whole different one. But
They changed it twice.
Yeah, that's what I want to
it was
ask, Flash. Why
yeah,
do
it
they
was a
do
bit.
that?
They were a bit confused. James got a bit confused, but I was so happy to actually have James as the moderator for once.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that
James is a good one. James is a good one.
I
because I
don't think
always
I don't
seem
think
to
he was a
get the
brilliant
same
moderator.
guy.
I don't think he was a brilliant moderator tonight, though. I
Well,
He
mean,
was okay. He wasn't
uh,
bad.
he's okay.
he was well, he was
Yeah.
still a bit up Craig's ass at the end there. At the end, when he
Oh.
was going on about Craig's like this. Everybody gets to the tail end of his vehemence or whatever. I don't know, but he
It,
should have been more respectful to the old dude. Simple.
Yeah,
but
I think he's
I
still
was
talking too.
Mm.
but I was
Yeah.
laughing when Marcus actually told me, "Hey man, come on,
Got
what's
me.
up with this?" Okay, what do you want
Because
to see, Rico?
I'm going to destroy um
Oh, sure
those
you are, Luca.
I'm
Sure
gonna
you
show
are.
you why you're wrong.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
Thanks,
okay,
And not
Luca.
only that these statements not contradict each other, but they actually agree with each other.
okay.
Ooh.
Can you?
All right.
You would affirm that Donald Petit did say he has seen stars, nebula, and so forth from space. You'd agree that
Uh-huh.
he did say that. Okay, cool.
You did say
And
that.
then Mike Massimano says exactly the same. You'd
Uh-huh.
agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we get to Neil Armstrong, where he says he just saw pitch black and you see no
Uh-huh.
stars. You agree with
Uh-huh.
that?
Yeah.
So one saw stars, one didn't see stars. You don't see the contradiction there.
I'm going to say that this one word makes all of this possible. Exposure.
No,
No,
we're
this
talking
was
the
them
human
seeing.
eye.
Wait. Human
Everything together.
eyes. Not. This wasn't
Human
based on camera,
cameras.
Luca. This
No,
was seeing with eyes.
Yeah,
human eyes.
brightness, in other words.
Well, so you've got conflicting stories because you've got the Apollo astronauts coming
Now,
back and saying, now listen,
who?
saying that they didn't see any stars. Okay. But then
Mhm.
you've got that Massimo guy and Don Pettit supposedly up on the International Fake Station, and somebody asked him, do you see stars? And they looked at each other so they could sync up how they were going to answer.
And he said
Didn't take
yes.
into account what the pioneers had said and turned around and said, oh, yeah, we see them all. And then Don Pettit said, and you can see the zodiacal lights. You know,
With
I mean,
glasses.
come on, brother.
No.
But that's not
Now,
all though. We,
I
we got
find
more. We got more
who
Apollo astronauts that were with Neil Armstrong. Correct.
I
So
find
we got Buzz
whoever
Aldrin. Wait.
who
So we
made
got
this
Buzz Aldrin.
originally.
Wait. We just had Neil
Mhm.
Armstrong that says he saw no stars. We had Buzz Aldrin with Neil Armstrong, correct?
Yep.
Mhm.
And he says he claims to see it as a velvet sheen.
Black, devoid of stars, right?
No,
Nothing
no,
in it.
black with a velvet sheen to it.
What's that? What's velvet sheen?
Think of it
You ever see Velvet?
as when something reflects off of a fabric.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of a
Like
black
black
fabric.
silk,
Yeah,
like
black silk.
black satin or black silk.
It's going to have a shine to it.
Okay, so
So
And
in
it
other
smelled
words,
like
he's
roast
claiming he
beef.
saw stars.
And steak with A1 sauce on it.
So-
Smells
but
like
he
Okay.
doesn't say he saw stars here. He says he claims space to be deep black with a velvet sheen to it. I don't know.
Like you
if
see
velvet
the background. You
sheen
see the background there. That would be classified as velvet sheen almost.
So-
Look, they all contradict each other.
a bit bluey, I guess.
But anyway,
A
then he
bit.
moves on. Chris Hadfield, he's says the same as Buzz Aldrin.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get to my favorite, Michael Collins.
Collins.
Mm-hmm.
He first says he doesn't remember seeing any. So that means he said, no, I didn't see any. And later on, he wrote a book where he says he did see stars.
How does
He
that change?
contradicted himself.
Well, he kind of forgot.
How do you forget that, dude?
Whoa.
How do you forget your first trip to the friggin' moon and everything?
Wait, this was in that interview that was talked about when they looked so sad,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
where
This-
they asked, and he said he doesn't know, he didn't see any stars. He can't
Michael
remember seeing
Collins
stars.
was was Michael Collins with the same
Buzz
mission
Aldrin and
as
yes,
Buzz Aldrin? and
Yes.
Neil?
he was
Yes,
in.
he's
He
one
was
of
in
the
the.
three.
He was
This
in
is
the.
what-
guys. Three
This
guys.
is why I find it a bit. This is why I find whoever made this a bit deceptive in a way.
Ooh.
Because when I first did you make this? Oh no, you
This
didn't
is my
make this, right?
presentation. Yes,
No, but I mean,
But you didn't make.
the information is what's given to you. That's researched information, but it's my presentation.
it's no lie at all, Luca. That's what
It's
he-
not a lie. You can literally
Because
get
when,
this
when, I,
information yourself.
when I first saw this, I thought all of the astronauts were on the same mission,
No, I never claimed they
but
were.
they weren't.
All of them.
Yeah.
Oh
But
my god.
that's how I saw it. That's why I thought it was a bit deceptive because
You had on the Apollo.
I saw it wrong. Okay.
On the
Maybe
Apollo,
that
on the
was
Apollo
me.
11, Luca, on Apollo 11, Collins was in the capsule.
Buzz,
Okay,
Neil, and
Buzz and
Michael.
Neil somehow either put on their bulky spacesuits and fit through a hatch that's too
don't know
small
how,
for
yeah.
that, or they both changed in to their suits inside of the lunar module.
Yeah.
Which would be like two people in the back of a Volkswagen trying to put on those clunky suits. But never mind that. Then the two guys, they went out down on the moon. And this other thing kept going, orbiting the moon at 17,000 miles an hour, faster than a bullet. It was going around the moon. And these guys somehow took off from the surface and intercepted this bullet
Yep.
flawlessly. Okay.
When you explain it to people.
Yeah.
Hey, Lotion, you're a robot in the head, dude.
Could you imagine? Think how easy would it be for you to shoot a bullet out of the air as it's traveling? And that's going slower. It's going slower than that capsule was.
Exactly. Same as all these space missions when they're getting something up there and they're docking with things. You know, how are they so smoothly docking when one's coming in from one direction at a certain speed and the other one's trying to get away from it? You know, it's ridiculous.
Okay, but we can now all agree that they did contradict each other.
Of course.
Colin even
Well,
contradicted
they
himself.
were they were
what
on
you have
different
is no
missions.
answer.
What are you saying, Luca?
So we need to separate them into actually 3 groups because one
No, Luca,
wasn't
it's
even
simple.
looked to.
Simple. They all claim to go to a place that violates natural law. The one says he sees stars, the one says he doesn't see stars. The one says he never saw stars and later says he did see stars. It's all contradiction. It means it's made up.
Yeah.
There we go.
The writers got it mixed up.
The ones that all saw stars all have something in common, and the ones that didn't see stars, which were Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin,
Neil Armstrong did
had
see stars,
in common
and
too.
Buzz Aldrin says they saw stars. It was
Yeah.
Colin. Colin said he didn't see stars, and then later, when he wrote his book, said he did see stars.
Which
Yeah.
means he saw stars, right?
Yeah, well, he
Because-
wasn't really sure, was he?
Yeah.
He looked at
Later,
he looked at the guy to his right and says, we didn't see stars, did we?" He was kind of like that, wasn't it?
Everyone who saw stars had something in common. Everyone that didn't see stars had something.
And what did they
in
all
common
have in
as well.
common? I know they lied about the place they went to.
Yeah.
No,
Okay, Tony
ones
Whitcomb,
who
thank you for your
saw-
£10 super chat. He says, Luca, if I have seen the moon lit up at night and my neighbor said the moon was blacked out while we were standing next to each other, what would your logical conclusion be?
the ones who should I answer that first?
Go ahead.
Okay. Luke, if I say I've seen the moon lit up at night, and my neighbor said the moon was blacked out while we were standing next to each other, what would your logical conclusion be? He's wrong, I guess,
Wow.
because I could
Yeah.
see it.
Wow.
Great. So thank you for the super
Oh,
chat,
I think-
Tony. You rock.
So,
The people that all saw stars, they were all inside.
Huh?
You do know they were
Inside
looking. Wait. You do know they were
No.
looking at the same stars.
Some kind of module, some kind of rocket. With Michael, he was inside the lunar lander. He was inside the lander.
Yes, he was.
While
Did
Buzz
the
and
did
Neil
the
were
did
in
the did the Lunar Lander have windows? Did the capsule
Yeah.
have windows? Yes, it did. The windows, they
And
have
that's why you
windows.
could see the
No,
stars.
no, Luca,
And
Luca,
they were looking at the same
they have
stars.
windows.
Huh.
Look,
But
why are you trying to make a big
then you
thing out
must
of
ask
something so
yourself
obvious?
then, you must ask yourself then, why did the people inside something see the stars and the people outside something see the
He
stars?
did
Not
not
see stars.
They
see it
didn't.
Did not
inside.
see any.
The
Not
one you're
see stars.
saying, yeah, he was inside. He says he did not see stars. Then later on in his book, he says he saw stars,
Yeah,
literally
he was inside,
contradicting
so
what his
obviously
interview
he saw
said
stars.
when he came back.
You're
Do you
assuming he's
see the
telling.
issue?
You're
Same
assuming.
guy.
It
You're
was a
assuming
high
he's telling
stress
the truth.
situation. Maybe he just said the wrong thing. Who
No,
knows?
you're just assuming he's telling the truth. They were all full of crap, dude.
But you're assuming he's lying.
Yeah, they are. They are simple.
So
much
we're
people
never
they're
going to
lying.
get anywhere. So we can leave that one
Well,
alone.
exactly. Yes, we're not going to go anywhere, Luca. What's the point in
We
talking about
can
that?
leave
They're
the one
lying.
who said he forgot and then later on said he admitted it. We can leave that one alone for now then.
This is not your stream, Luca. What do you mean we can leave this alone?
Well, you know,
We'll just throw Don
we're
Pettit
not going
and
to get anywhere with talking to him because I say he just forgot. You say he was lying and stuff. So we're not
Yeah,
going to
no. There's proof that there's lying. There's no proof that he just forgot. That's divine in his thoughts. There's proof that he's lying.
It was a high stress moment.
was it?
You know, I don't think the stars would have been what he was more focused on at that point, right?
Yes.
Now, if I was riding in the ship on the way to the moon, I'd be looking at everything, dude. It'd be cool. You know what I'm saying?
And
Like,
that's
oh, God,
why that's why he saw the stars in the end. He remembered, oh yeah, he actually did see the stars.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness, Luca!
But
they all rode back in the
Luca, is this what you do for? Is this your copium? Is this your copium? Because this is.
And they all lived happily ever after.
No. This is a stretch, Luca. This is a stretch, Luca. A big stretch. This is copium. This is copium.
Wait, Luca, tell it over. Only this time, started out with "Once upon a time." Okay.
No, Luca, they all rode back in the same ship. They looked out the same windows. They rode there. They would have saw stars on the way up there and back.
Well,
no matter if they were on the surface or not.
They all lived happily ever after.
Neil and Buzz say they didn't see the stars because they were on the moon's surface with more exposure
they
or
did
more
listening
than the people inside the rocket.
They did travel to the moon. No, they didn't travel to the moon. But they alleged that they say they traveled to the moon. Did they not look out at that time when they were traveling?
Okay, but let's leave that and get to what the show's topic is about.
Exactly.
The after show and actually what was discussed.
Yeah.
So, Luca, what is your thoughts on FTFE? Keep on double downing that the people were wearing full suits in the vacuum chamber.
Dude was wearing BDUs for Christ's sake.
I saw the part where where you talked about how it would be difficult to remove the film from the camera, because the camera would get radiated and break. I saw that part.
So, okay, which parts so you missed the whole debate then? Only that part you saw?
No. I did watch the whole debate. And I did hear
then what are you going to address what I just asked then?
Other than the stars, I guess I'd address the camera. Right?
No, I asked you a specific question.
Oh, what was it?
With the vacuum chamber and the Navy and the military guys standing in there without full suits, what is your thoughts on that?
Right. Well, if they were standing in a vacuum chamber with no suits to protect them against the lack of oxygen, I guess
they would be dead.
I guess they'd run out of oxygen in a vacuum chamber with no suits on.
So logical deduction is they lied for television.
If they were in a vacuum chamber with no suits on, and the vacuum chamber was a vacuum chamber with no oxygen, then I guess they'd eventually die.
What? No, what happens to?
Eventually, it would start happening immediately.
Like
Uh-huh.
that.
But I just want to read out the super chat quickly about Tony Welcome. Thank you very much. He says, Luca, this is all recorded. What do you want to be remembered by? As I am proud. What? Proud to be remembered by my comments and not fueled by fantasy.
Yeah. Most
Yeah.
of it.
In other words, just look at it logically, Luca, instead of like wanting the moon landing to be real and happening. That's
Exactly. Thank you. You rock, Tony. Really appreciate the super chat, man. You are awesome. Yeah, at the end of the day, Luca, all that really happened, and this was what I gathered, and Marcus as well, when we're discussing afterwards. FTFE and Darryl, have you realized all they presented the whole debate was, trust me, bro.
Yeah.
I say reflectors are there. Now it's your duty to prove that they weren't there. They haven't proven it was there in the first instance. They're just claiming it to be there.
Oh, and it's more reflective,
The reflectors on the moon.
special reflective shit that they can identify. That dude just reaches up his butt and pulls out things, man. I swear to God. He had no idea. He was just making up shit right off the cuff right there. I even said that in the chat over there. I was like, so now he's just making shit up.
that's what happens. Caught.
Was it 2 kilometers? A laser beam will spread out to 2 kilometers.
But did you see the amount of percentage that Craig said came back? 0.000000001% of it. That's, I was like, hello. That discrepancy can literally be done on the difference between this rim of the cup and the rest of the cup.
Yep. And he's not taking into account that thing spreads out to 2 kilometers. It's not going to narrow back down. It's going to continue to spread on its way back too.
Yeah, is the retroreflector 2 kilometers big?
No, it doesn't exist. So it doesn't exist in reality.
There what?
Thing's only about it's about that big, man. It's about maybe 3 foot square.
Yeah. But what's up or else gets the house hose? What's up?
That's lotion, I'm sure.
The what? Yeah, what up? It's or else it gets the hose.
Oh, this is
Puts the lotion on its skin. Puts the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose. It's from Silent
But I think lotion knows what happens to people if you stand in a vacuum chamber without any protection on your skin.
You fucking die.
Yeah.
Boing.
You're gonna outgas. All the liquids
I
in your
smell
body
bacon.
boil out. The blood inside your body is gonna try escape.
Oh, Sam's got the bacon.
I got something for you.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
That's
You
the
see,
module.
let me get this over here to this thing.
Nice model.
You see this little square thing right here?
That's
I haven't painted that yet. That's the reflector.
Okay.
That's the reflector. And that is what they're saying they're hitting and bouncing a beam back to Earth on. You see the footprints right next to it.
Oh, jeez.
You can see the footprints. There's man's footprints right there next to it. So to give you an idea how big that thing is.
Wow, footprints make it real, huh?
You know, I mean, I'm just saying that's that little tiny thing. And then that's supposed to reflect back without attenuation of the signal. Come on, man.
That's crazy.
Got it here.
Yeah, but I mean, that's all with the dust as well. Look, those reflectors were quite close to the lunar module, and you saw when it boosted up how that lunar dust, quote unquote, separated and moved over. Don't you think it could have covered the lunar surface by now? And yes, there is such thing as solar wind on the moon. We didn't even get to that.
No.
So yeah, Craig was wrong about that as well. Just because there's less atmosphere doesn't mean there isn't atmosphere on the moon. Today it's claimed that the moon's still in Earth's atmosphere, by the way. I'm coming out.
Isn't it 6 kilometers?
Yes, it is.
Not 4.
6 kilometers further with the reflectors?
Yeah.
Is that what I don't know how large they are personally, but I don't think there's anything up there at all, Luca. I don't even think there's even dust on the moon, to be honest with you. Let alone gravity, for that matter. It's never been proven neither. So the rest of it's all a story they're making up to tell you, dude. It really is. So if
Okay.
you
Well,
can't see
that's
the
just
fact they're lying to you to start with when they get caught in lies here, it blows my mind why you can't just question it. Like, okay, maybe they are
Yeah.
lying.
surely
You
you
know,
see how. Surely you see how saying that you don't think there's even dust on it doesn't make sense because there's dust on Earth. So unless they're not filming on Earth and filming in a place that has no dust to interfere, then
I don't think anybody's ever been
what
there
you,
to even
what you said
verify that to
doesn't make
start
much
with.
sense.
Flatzoid. I don't
That's-
think Andrew Johnson checks his spelling of his titles. He did a video on you 6 days ago saying Flatzoid perspective doesn't understand how level whatever it is. So it's not
No, he
understand.
uses inner stand because they learned that word from Solve.
Oh,
really?
I see.
Are you
Okay,
teaching people again?
I get
Teaching
you.
grammar?
You remember, you know what I find really funny? Solve, they call us dumb, but a lot of the things they talk about, they learn from us.
Yeah.
I thought
Tony
you meant to
Whitcomb,
say understand. My bad.
thank you for your
you gotta.
$5 super chat. He says, when Craig said we went through the weak part of the Van Halen belt was utter bull's hit. Yeah, I actually almost spoke about that because it was a few hours of travel through the Van Halen belts. Apparently. Remember, I'm not saying they actually went
Yeah.
through it.
You gotta going back to that laser on the with the reflector on the moon or whatever. It's like you gotta remember if the world is supposedly spinning and the moon is moving, by the time you turn on that laser, it would have changed position and you'd never get you'd never be able to actually hit
And that's what
the
Marcus
mirror
was.
anyway.
Hey, Saab, exactly how big were the reflectors? Lucas said they were 6
So
kilometers
yeah,
wide.
I know how.
What?
The,
6 to 6
the thing was,
kilometers.
it was big
They
enough
got a
for a
6
man.
kilometer mirror up
It
there.
was small enough for a man to be able to pick up and manipulate and set on the ground. It was about the size of a TV tray, like a TV snack tray.
The dinner tray, the one
Uh-huh.
you watched your news on and had dinner. Yeah. That's not big enough just to like narrow that target down, man.
then
There's no way.
what's it actually hitting if it's not the reflector?
Who knows?
I
Maybe
don't
It's
the
know.
make
Bounce lasers
believe,
off the moon
Luca. It
all the
doesn't
time.
matter. It could be anything you want it to be.
It could, we'd have to be able to get to it, and that's presupposing that it's something we can get to, right?
But
And
Then,
it's
if we could get to it, we'd have to also determine that it is actually a physical object that we can actually touch or land on or something. But so far,
but you
none of
but you
that's
see,
been done.
even based but you see that's how bad it actually is for them. Even based on your globe belief system that the moon is a physical rock in the sky, it still shows impossible based on what's been happening. Even based on that. If you don't even
I've
take
heard
into any natural laws or any account of all the arguments you're bringing, it wasn't possible to happen. It's still not possible to happen. I don't know how to break it to you. There's a
Um,
lot of globers out there that know that the moon landing's been faked.
yeah, they
so
are.
this
if
is my major argument, though. Go ahead. I'll stop. But I
if
really
it
like.
was
Marcus doesn't believe that the Earth is flat.
Nope.
No, he just says that we didn't go to the moon.
And he has great arguments for why.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Real good. If you've not watched Apollo Detectives, man, I highly suggest. They got some good shit over there, man.
Yeah,
if
Marcus and myself were laughing at some of Dave McKeegan's arguments after the show. So,
though it is the reflectors are, from what they say, are designed to, regardless of the angle that it comes in, it's gonna shoot it right back at its source. That's what they say.
Well,
Regardless of
can
the
you
angle
show how
it
this
collects, right?
technology works? Can you show how this
Regardless
technology
of the
works, or is there any demonstrations of that we can see right here on Earth? Surely they've made more of these reflectors for other purposes, right? I
Well,
mean, that's a lot
they
of money
made
to be
that
spending
one
on
for.
such technology for a
They
reflector.
made that one for a specific purpose.
Man,
Well, now
don't
that
make
it's
them
already
come up.
made,
Don't make them come up with proof that doesn't exist, though. Come
Luca,
Oh
on.
my,
it's
oh my
been
word!
through. It's already been through the
No,
R&D, right? It's already
so
been manufactured. So now it's just now it's just replicating what was already manufactured. There are no
but
electronics
what
in
would they
this thing.
need it
Shush,
for?
shush. There are no electronics in this thing. It's a reflector. Okay.
It's just
Basically,
reflecting.
a piece of glass.
So how did they manipulate the reflective surface to do as you say?
It's your turn, Luke.
Always,
You do
to
you do
always.
know you do know you can literally get a rock to reflect the same amount of light or ice or whatever. It's just a reflective surface. That's it.
It's it's designed for. It's specifically designed for a purpose.
Well, they
So
designed many things for a purpose that doesn't make what they designed for a purpose actually being there to show it
so
true.
so scientists at an observatory, right,
Oh, geez.
fire a laser toward the reflector
Can I
on the
correct you for
moon,
a minute?
right?
Astronomers have observatories. Scientists don't because there's no science in astronomy. It's observation.
Scientists at observatories, right?
Where's the science part of it other than observation? That's all you've got is observation.
All they do is push a button and
Observation
look
is
through a lens, dude. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
observation is the first step of the scientific method. So
Well,
observation
But
is
so
science.
what?
they're not
How
even
is
looking through a
science
lens
applied?
anymore.
How is
Oh
science
yeah, you're right.
how is
They're
science
not looking through a
applied
lens.
to astronomy?
Like, how do
Man,
astronomers
What
science?
about astronomy is scientific? You're looking through a
Well,
telescope.
they they observe stars and patterns and stuff
Yeah, okay.
Uh,
Great.
at meteorites. Well,
Yeah,
meteorologists do that,
okay.
but
Great.
the astronomers
Where's
do.
the what experimentation is done? What to verify? What is it that where's the science part? I know what they do. They look at things. Awesome. Where's the science part?
they are observers.
They're astronomers.
Well, yeah, but observe observe is kind of sciencey, right?
No, it's part of it, but it's not science. I'm observing this computer screen right now. Am I doing science? Nope. Nope. I'm observing the computer screen.
Well, they study celestial objects, so
Well,
that could be
okay.
science, right?
All right. Well, outside of observing
well,
them, what science has been performed?
Data analysis,
What is that?
What?
like
Well, that's
What?
data
data.
analysis. That's not science. That's
That's
data
not
analysis.
science. That's taking observations, making data,
well,
and analyzing the observational data. Where's
yeah. Well,
the
let's put it
science?
this way, Sam.
Well, they test theories as well.
Stockbrokers do data analysis. Are they scientists?
The
They
money
test
makers, man.
theories as well, though. I mean, testing theories is a sciencey thing.
Yeah, but you have to test a hypothesis. You literally have to do an experiment.
Right.
Well, they test things like the relativity, the theory of relativity.
How
They
do you
test
test
that.
relativity? How do you test
Okay.
relativity?
Do you know
Oh
that
Lord.
God damn it,
general
Luca.
relativity?
It's
General
bending of
relativity is
light.
falling apart as we speak today.
They observe the bending of light, right?
Do you know general relativity is falling apart as we speak today, Luca?
Measuring the bending of light, I should say.
There's a
But
lot of
how is it
issues with
falling
general
apart?
relativity.
How's
There's a
it
lot of
falling
issues.
apart?
Why do you
How
think
is
they're
that
moving?
science?
Why do you think they were moving to quantum gravity now?
Maybe it's more accurate
Because
than
Einstein is
general
being
relativity,
shown more and more wrong.
Yeah.
or it's getting more and more accurate.
No, it's getting less accurate. The
It's
more they
just
go on.
changing the story again. Now they're
Yeah.
changing the story again.
Maybe I don't know quantum gravity. It's the first time I'm hearing quantum gravity, so
We've
maybe it's a
spoken about
new
it
thing,
many
right?
times. We've been speaking about it many times, man.
Ah,
Even
okay.
Van der Linde actually came up with entropic gravity just because gravity based on general relativity is being shown false.
But
I've
I'm
got
guessing
lotion gravity.
I'm guessing quantum gravity
Very
is
moisturizing.
a more accurate version of gravity.
Yeah, gravity doesn't exist, so any other version is more accurate.
But I'm still
Well,
trying to
what's
figure out
quantum
where's the
gravity
science.
say?
Where's the science in astronomy? Where's the science part
Well,
of
they
that?
test theories like general relativity.
And
No, they
where's the
test.
science in that? An observation and making up a story to go with it.
They validate.
How? How did they validate that the observed effect that they wrote down or saw? How did they verify that their conclusion as to the reason of that effect was valid? How did they
They do
determine that?
measurements.
What measurement?
They measure the bending of light,
Okay, so what? What bent it?
the fabric of space-time.
How do you know that?
Well, that's just what they say.
Well, I know that's just what they say. That's what my point. It's just
But would
what
you
they
agree
say.
that?
When you just say shit, that's not science.
Well, that they've obviously got more knowledge than I do. They're scientists.
Really? How? Where's the testable, repeatable evidence to support the hypothesis?
Well, if we go all the way back, the Cavendish experiment was the first
Oh my
thing
God.
they did too.
That's
Can we
there
move on?
again. You know what, Luca? Think about this. Think about this. You want to defend an arcane belief system whose best evidence is a janky ass contraption from the 18th century made from some lead eating weirdo.
There's also LIGO.
I love when you explain shit. It's just great.
There's
I mean,
LIGO. There's
we're 20 almost 25 years, a quarter of the way into the 21st century. And the best that you can come up with is
It's
some
not-
crackpot hanging balls in his shed and watching them through a fucking binoculars. Really? I would
There's
be
LIGO.
embarrassed. I would be embarrassed to use that.
There's a
And
Schehallien.
better yet,
there's multiple
regurgitating shit a
different-
bunch of Nazis came up with.
The Schehallien experiment. There's LIGO.
No,
Well,
LIGO. What LIGO do? What does LIGO do?
Wait,
Come on.
wait, wait. The Schehallien
The-
experiment was not an experiment. It was a demonstration of Bernoulli's
Demonstration.
principle in practice.
Better yet, it's just Nazi doing Nazi things to lie and trick the world.
Yeah.
And to regurgitate what NASA says that is embarrassing because we all know they're full of shit.
That's why I
And they
think
have-
it's an offense for these people, astronomers, although it is incredibly awesome what they do and the observations they make, but to be called scientists, no.
No,
No.
and you know how you say they're a cult, Sovereign? You know how you say they're a cult? That's why they get upset. Because you're basically disproving their God.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing is all the time, and I see this all the time. They claim science. You're a science denier. But as soon as you bring up the topic of science, they run away. They don't want to talk about it no more because we're gonna do like just now. What is scientific about looking at stars?
But that's why I said we're science realists. We are
It
able
follows-
to we're able to look at something and say if it's pseudoscience or actual science. Now, because we call something pseudoscience because it's not keeping to the scientific method, we call science deniers.
Yeah. And what scientific experiment did LIGO do? Come on, tell me, Luca.
Uh-oh.
LIGO was the observation, right?
Well, LIGO's where they observe these things, but what are they doing to manipulate gravity to get waves from it? What are they doing? What's the IV and DV? Come on.
They did something with gravitational waves, right? That was what LIGO was.
They're looking to detect the gravitational to find them. They haven't found them yet. They're looking for a wave for gravity. They haven't
The
found it
one,
yet.
remember the one
That's,
time they thought they did see it? It was just a test, a simulation test. They
yep.
weren't told about it.
They didn't know. Yep.
Yeah.
They but
They spent
you know,
millions on that thing, dude. Millions and millions and millions of dollars on that, and they haven't detected anything since they've been there. They're just wasting taxpayer money.
Imagine.
That's what they're doing. That's all they're
You're
doing,
sitting
dude.
there waiting. You're like, oh my god, it's gravity. Oh, what?
LIGO
Oh.
has to be
Yeah,
really
there was even like an article, and everybody's like so excited they've discovered it. Then later it came out, no, guys, we actually were just doing a test. We just didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Half those people killed themselves.
Yeah, we're not.
But you see what that tells you, though. It's the same as having people believing Santa Claus is real, and they said, okay, if you sit long enough in front of the fireplace, you'll see Santa. And then you get some fat guy in a red suit jumping down and say, "Oh, I saw Santa Claus."
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Now every year, NORAD tracks Santa Claus and puts it online every year, and you see it right there. There they are
real.
tracking Santa Claus. Okay, now does that make Santa Claus real?
No.
No. It's for the kids, just like this shit is for the kids. Those with the childlike minds that think that they're one day going to be going to space and floating around and be part of Starfleet and speak Klingon and all this other nonsense.
Hey,
It's
you got
all
people
just fairy
already.
tales, man. It's
You've
all
already
fairy
got people
tales.
actually that studied Klingon and Alvin and everything, just so, in case one day they need to use it. It's like,
I knew a woman that spoke Elven. I knew a woman
yeah.
up at the in the park, man. She spoke Elven,
Why
and
would
she
you
swore
waste your
elves
life
were
away
real.
studying a language that no one else talks?
I know.
I guess what
Just in
would
case they come back.
change would be the gravitational waves, right? In the LIGO experiment.
Gravitational
So
wave.
that would be the IV. So what would cause that? What
You
would
got to be
cause
able to
No, the
manipulate
IV
that
is what,
cause.
wait. The IV is what causes. The DV is the observed phenomena, dude.
Oh, so the IV is what causes. Okay, my bad. I got it wrong. Okay, so the DV would the DV is what the IV is what causes, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So the IV would be yeah the IV would be the gravitational waves, and the DV would be
Okay. Do you know
would
how LIGO
probably
works
be
there? Have you looked into
the
how LIGO works?
they do stuff with interference patterns and
So wouldn't that be the independent variable?
yeah they yeah
Because they're
the
not actually
interference
doing
patterns would be the
gravity,
DV, right?
they're doing other things.
So the interference pattern would be the DV, and the gravitational waves would be the IV. That
What's a
sounds
gravitational
right.
wave, Luca?
It's like LIGO must be really sensitive because
No.
the
What is a
frequency is
gravitational wave? Because they're supposed to be manipulating this gravitational wave, correct?
How do you manipulate it? That's what I
Yeah,
want to know.
that's my point.
I guess the DV is what manipulates, right?
No.
You manipulate the
DV is
DV?
the observed
Oh, what's the
phenomenon,
dependent?
Okay, so you manipulate the IV.
which would be gravitational waves. And how would you
Yeah, so that
manipulate gravitational
changes the
waves?
DV. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. How would you manipulate the gravitational waves?
Well,
Magneto might be able to do it. I don't know about you.
I guess.
Where's
I
that
guess
big ass magnet? Where's
I
that
guess
magnet at?
mass would probably
It's in the core of the
manipulate
Earth.
the gravitational waves.
Isn't that
But
CERN? Isn't that big ass magnet CERN?
No,
Something
no,
like
yeah,
no,
that.
no. The
the
one
mass
that
would have to
guys throw
be
the Nerf football
as
over.
big as the Earth,
Oh,
I
yeah,
guess,
okay.
to be able to influence the gravitational waves. It would have to be a very big mass like the Earth or the Sun. But
Okay,
we
so
can't
it's
really,
impossible. Just say
yeah,
that.
we can't really do
Yeah.
that.
Well,
So
guys, I've got to go. I gotta get ready for work, but I
Yes,
want to
Roger.
shout
Thanks
out.
for coming, man.
No problem.
Blessings.
Lucky Haskins is wanting to push the flat out forced to line experiment.
Yeah, force the
Oh,
line.
nice.
Yeah.
I was saying that today. I'd love to see that done. I was
Yeah.
actually saying that on my stream today. I'd love to
And
see
he's
that.
right. That's something that would always be there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's something that you
Memorial.
could go
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
you know, it would
wait.
stand as a monument.
But you guys must be careful with that. Just now, you get doxxed by your employee that you're a flat earther because
Oh,
you
well,
want
of
to force
course.
the line. You know.
Course.
You know what happened to Brian Mullen? Come on.
They want to
That's
fire
it.
his ass. Yeah. All right. I'll see you guys.
Cheers, man.
I
Good work, Roger.
Later, Luca.
would.
So, Luca, based on the debate, what arguments stood out to you, though?
Well, the first one with the astronauts, and that's the one I talked about right then, and the cameras as well. How
Have you
they,
ever used a film camera before?
well, no, I haven't.
But
Never.
do you understand how film cameras work, though?
Yeah, FTFE's argument was it wasn't the same as a regular film camera.
It was. They just made
It
a
was
few
designed
modifications to it, but it's still a
Yeah.
film camera. Is a film camera. It works in the same principle.
See,
They
you
still
guys
needed
always
to
go
take,
into
still needed to take that backing plate out, which they made into a cartridge, which exposes before
He said it wouldn't expose it.
exposes the
He said
plate.
it didn't expose it.
Oh, well,
It
no,
has to.
if FTFE said that a dog's tail was a fifth leg, would you believe him?
He said, FTFE said, if it was a regular camera, then it would have exposed it. But it wasn't a
well,
regular
here's
camera.
here's
It
the
was
problem.
a modified version of it.
You guys are constantly off in Inspector Gadget land,
Mm.
thinking that Q is real, that they've got all these special contraptions and devices that are different, never ever replicated or used in any other circumstance. It was a special camera with a special seal. Well, don't you think they would have carried that kind of technology over into the consumer market?
Think.
But like,
Huh?
who would buy it?
You know,
Yeah.
who would
So I was
buy it?
trying to
Who would
say-
buy it? All kinds of people, underwater photographers.
Going into space.
Can you
gonna say,
imagine?
thank you,
Can you
Godzilla.
imagine a camera that you could take underwater that you had to have no protection for it whatsoever? You just take it from the land and go right into the ocean. Would that be worth
This
something?
exists, though, right?
What's that?
I think
Not
they do.
film, you don't get
exist
underwater film
cameras.
cameras. You get underwater digital cameras.
Can you
But not
change the film
cameras. Film
underwater?
cameras are different. Yeah. Yeah, you get
In-
cameras, but they can only go a certain depth, though.
Yeah,
Godzilla
the
37, thank you for
pressure
your
was-
$10 super chat. Didn't know you were a garbage man, Flatzoid, but you sure took out the garbage today.
Oh,
Looking at you, Craig.
The
Thank you for
trash
the super
man.
chat. Really appreciate Godzilla. You rock.
I'm sure that they could design a camera eventually that could withstand more pressure, maybe.
Dick Wayne.
There's a
Thank
lot
you,
of-
Flatzoid.
there's
As a
lot of-
Canadian, I was shocked to learn that zippers are airtight. I couldn't figure out why.
I had the zipper
They told us
too.
that
I
after
remember
their
that one.
snowsuits were zipped up.
Yeah. There's a lot of chemicals. There's a lot of chemicals in film, Luca.
Well, I want to know,
Why-
what do you think of the zippers argument, Luca?
Why can't you imagine a zipper being airtight?
Wow.
The zippers
come
aren't
on.
made to be airtight, man.
They aren't usually made to be airtight.
I want to quickly show you an image of how the zipper looked, and then I'm gonna
But
then
again,
we're gonna laugh, and then we're gonna laugh
specially
at
designed,
But
right?
Flatzoid, they had special zippers. that they've only used that one time. They don't. Now they got Gucci. Now they get, or wait,
But
what
why
was it?
would
Is
they?
it
Why would
Prada?
Here we
they
go.
need?
Look at these zippers. Look, it's normal
give me a-
zips.
Normal
These
zip.
are normal zips on with a zip over it.
Do you know what it looks like? It looks like a super dry with a load of zips. That's it. And they're not bloody
No, but
sealed.
does it? Do you think air will not pass through there if it's zipped up?
Of course it will.
Okay, well.
I mean, look at these suits, guys. I mean,
You can't
Well,
ridiculous.
tell
the
it just
new
by
one, though.
look.
Have you
Yeah,
seen the new
right.
one? The new one, man. That's
Oh,
been
wow.
designed by Gucci or Prada. Prada.
It's like ordering a Star Wars sofa. You know.
Okay, so
They-
nobody thinks that's a red flag if Prada's designing a zipper for a spacesuit.
We obviously
Now
do.
look at that. That's not
Well,
look at
Nothing
it.
to see here, guys. Nothing to see
Why
here.
Prada design stuff. Prada's a reliable company maker of products.
They work like
A reliable company or an evil company?
Okay, I want to also ask you something. You see this area here? You can see my mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is the
Plastic.
zipper, itself.
yeah.
Do you know how a zip works, first of all, Luca?
Exactly. It's like teeth into
Yeah.
locking.
All it does is it makes
Pulls
links
the things
Yeah.
together.
connecting to each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There is air between there.
Lock.
Even that zipper lock is also it's air between there.
And they've got, it looks like they've got a zipper that goes up and down there. That makes it worse. That means there's more on it for air to go through. You've got a double
But you don't think that they could
No.
especially design a zipper
Look,
to
look
be
at the
airtight?
stitching. Look at the stitching as well. The stitching. Stitching has
This is normal nylon stitching.
yeah, normal nylon. It's not coated with super duper silicone that it withstands pressure or space.
Let's see.
Luca.
Yeah, code names. Neil Armstrong's 11th spacesuit was given the code name Sirius. After the brightest star system in Earth's night sky, code names were assigned each member the Apollo astronaut candidate pool. This allowed NASA to begin ordering construction of Apollo spacesuits before they made official announcement of who had been chosen in each mission. Creating a seal. How do you create an airtight seal on a zipper?
Yeah.
The zipper enclosures on Armstrong's spacesuit actually consist of 3 layers. 2 brass zippers, sandwiched a rubber layer, zipper. When pressurized from the inside of the suit, the rubber expands and creates the seal between the 2
Multiple
zippers.
barrier. Yeah, that's right.
Andrew, that's what I
Multiple
was looking at. That's what I was looking at when I talked about the stitching. That's exactly what I looked at, bro.
So surely if they could
So
specially
you just
design
read
a
that word
zipper,
for word, and Luca goes, "Oh yeah.
camera,
Okay,
right?
let's look at this again, Luca.
Surely if they could specially design a zipper, they could specially design a camera.
Do you know what
to-
happens to rubber in a vacuum?
No.
It becomes brittle.
It desiccates.
The moisture is removed and it crumbles, turns into dust.
Mm-hmm. You can actually see
As will
demonstrations
you.
of this. You can actually see demonstration of this when they actually put pieces of rubbers in vacuum chambers and they take it out. It degasses and it literally crumbles in the hand.
Yeah.
So if any of your fabric has any moisture in it,
What's it?
wow.
Hello?
But like,
you're
was
saying-
it made of rubber? Do you know?
What makes rubber? Is that what you said?
You know, was the zipper made of rubber?
Oh, I thought you said what makes rubber.
No, it's made of brass, but it had rubber inlining.
Yeah, yeah, the thing. So, yeah, maybe that's why it didn't collapse or whatever you say it.
Here we
does
go
in
into
the
Inspector Gadget land again.
Yeah. Well,
Well, they might
obviously
have
they
had
need
magic
to special
zippers.
design everything for space.
Oh,
They
sure. They had
They
to.
made a rocket. That's pretty cool.
That's why, and they probably developed a screen door for a submarine by now too. Sure, why not?
Hmm.
Hydrophobic screen door.
Yeah. Because it's
Screen
science.
doors have.
They spray Scotch Guard on it, and it just negates all water pressure.
Fleck feel. Spray some
I
fleck
mean,
feel.
if it was me, I wouldn't use rubber in a
What would you
vacuum.
use? What would you use?
Well,
an
Mr. Science,
critical
what would you
vacuum
use?
because of the reasons Flatzoid said it. It might be worn or something.
What would you use?
Are you saying you can build a better spacesuit?
Silicone, I guess, maybe.
Silicone would have the same issues as rubber would. Look, you got to understand what happens to anything with moisture when it goes into a vacuum. Anything.
What happens? Does
It
it do the
removes
same
it.
thing?
The same thing as the rubber.
Oh, well, I guess
Really good engineering.
other things, but
No, anything you put into a vacuum chamber will get destroyed, and if it's alive, it will be dead.
I'm looking for
You know,
now, what about synthetic rubber?
rubber is
same
synthetic.
problem. Same
Right,
problem.
rubber is synthetic.
Same
It's
problem.
man-made. You think rubber is not synthetic?
Of course, it's synthetic. You don't dig up the ground and find rubber.
Wasn't it just rubber tree oil or rubber tree sap and sulfa or something?
Yeah, exactly. It would come from a tree, wouldn't it? Obviously, 'cause the resin and all that. Yeah,
Yeah, but it's the process that makes it synthetic.
of course.
There's lots of chemicals
Makes
involved.
sense.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay, fair enough. Fair, that's fair enough.
Rubber actually from the tree is white.
Yeah.
When they
Super
first
cut.
make it, it's white. They used to actually have white tires for cars.
That would be kind of cool.
Wait, you said natural rubber, right? The rubber you get from trees and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, but it's not rubber as we know it.
But there's also synthetic.
It doesn't
rubber,
matter. It still has moisture. It still does the same thing in a vacuum. There's nothing you can put in a vacuum that won't do that aside from like metal, but even that.
Rubber forms air bubbles in it as you make it. So what happens is when you get no pressure, when there's a vacuum, it sucks all those air bubbles out, and then it basically just crumbles up. It's kind of like clay does. You know how clay will be seem like really pliable and really bendable and all that and dense, and then as soon as it dries out, it just crumbles into pieces.
But synthetic rubber can be engineered to be better than rubber, right?
Maybe.
Like, I guess in this case, it would probably have more durability. That'd give it more durability than regular rubber. That give it what else? Maybe temperature resistance. I guess. What do you think? That did give it that stuff.
I want to go back to the moon.
Okay.
Topic, not to the place. Topic, not to the place.
Well,
I do want to get one thought out.
The moon, you'd know it's
One
real,
thought.
so there you go. Right?
No. Forget all that. Okay, this is my thought. Beginning of the Bible says he made a light, greater light, lesser light. He never said the moon was a body of land.
No, he never did. I was going to say thank you, Roger Little, for your $2 super chat. It says silicone and the devil errors what? Thank you for the super chat. And then another $2 super chat from Roger says it's supposed to be wares.
Well, it's not. Well, I didn't make
Roger.
it my
You're
show.
right.
We were just talking about the debate, and so what do you say? I made it my show, according to Sandra.
What made it?
Sandra said, "How did this become the Lucas show?"
Oh, because
So,
you're talking the whole time. Yeah.
well, I guess it's true, but I was talking about relevant stuff, right?
I guess so.
So we were still talking about the moon landing debate, and it just kind of drifted naturally
Fun fact,
towards.
Luca. You spoke more now than Daryl did in the whole debate.
Huh,
Show your math.
not hard.
See, but I really do believe Luca learns stuff though. He just keeps falling back on an old thought and then he starts over the next day.
Yeah.
You know what's sad about that guy? Because, oh, do you have any mathematics? You could have just put up any goddamn mathematics you could
You
think
probably
of.
wouldn't have understood
He
what's
would
going
have
on.
known the difference. It's not like he's going to decipher them or
But
anything.
did you
That was
see
just a
how? But you see how offended he got when I said, "Sorry, this is how compartmentalization works,"
yeah.
and I used him as an example of how they scammed him, because that's exactly what it is. He won a contest. They made him and other people do a simulation on what they would choose to go to the moon or to Mars, and the technologies they are working on to get this to happen. It's a story. It's a scam. It's as easy as that. There's no other way to explain it to the guy. He believes that they're going to the moon because I was at NASA and we did a simulation. It's not hard to understand. Wow, that killed the mood.
Luke. Oh, okay. Maybe. Well, hmm.
Well,
If I
Luca,
did
maybe you can answer that question that Daryl refused to answer, or you maybe didn't
what was the
understand.
question?
If this is a vacuum chamber, and I got
Okay,
a closed
let's. Okay,
chamber
imagine that's a
inside you.
vacuum chamber. Got
Yeah, and I got a closed chamber inside you with a higher air pressure, and I open that container. What will happen?
it. Assuming that that smaller container, the air would escape into the larger container, right?
Great. And what happens then when I open this container? The
That
surrounding
the
system.
inside would escape out into the atmosphere.
It depends
Yeah.
which is higher. If the outside is higher, it will go into there. If there is
That's
higher,
true.
yeah, it will go out. Entropy.
Yeah, that always increases. Yeah.
He refused to answer that.
Well,
Oops.
maybe the way it was phrased was different.
Whoa, you're in twice, Lucian.
I know Glover's like I know
Maybe.
I know some thinking of Glover's, so he might have thought it was a loaded question.
Why? It was just a simple question because he wanted to strawman me because, well, let's put it this way. He was clutching at straw saying, bring me the math that claims entropy.
I know. You could have showed him anything. He wouldn't have known.
I was
He wasn't
planning
after
on
no
actually doing
math.
it.
He just
I actually opened a link where I wanted to give him the entropy equation, but we couldn't get there because instead of actually happening, he went and tried to insult me and spread lies about me.
that's all
So
they have at
instead,
the
I
end.
had to put my energy into correcting him on that.
Yeah, at the end of the day, that's all they have.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, out of the whole debate, is there any evidence presented that the moon landings actually happened?
No.
No.
No. I mean, I'm not even coming at this from a flat earther perspective. It's literally there is no evidence for it. And this was the same when I was a glober. There's just no evidence for the moon landing.
That's right.
It's just a believe me, bro story.
When I was a
Actually,
kid,
I
I
have
believed
some
it.
evidence, maybe.
Go ahead. What you say? You got evidence?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
How did the how did the retroreflector get on the moon?
That
We
was what they
don't know
brought
that
up.
there
They
is
already
a
answered.
retro reflector on the moon.
They already got the same kind of effect bouncing right off the moon in World War II.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so yeah, but they need to aim at a specific spot to
No, they
hit.
don't.
Yeah,
They can
maybe
take it.
there's
I
maybe there's
guarantee you,
well,
Luca, they could take it off that mark and shoot the laser and still come back.
uh-huh.
There is
You
no
do know
reflector.
Really have the same effect,
If
though.
you actually think that they're one hitting a little reflector, right? It's only about 2.5 feet wide, maybe.
It's 6
Uh,
kilometers.
The reflector is 6 kilometers. You're crazy.
I
That
mean, not kilometers. I know. I don't. I think it was feet, not kilometers.
It ain't no 6 feet.
It
That thing
was
ain't no
6
6 feet. That
something.
was carried by a man and put down on the surface.
It was 6
It's
something.
no,
What
it's
was it?
only about 2 feet, three at the most. Yeah, and so you're saying that a laser beam shot from the Earth that spreads out to 2 kilometers, and you're gonna and then bounces back off this one little box, It bounces off of that. An attenuated laser. Okay, it's done spread out and dissipated to the point where now it's gone from a pinpoint to 2 kilometers. This light continues
I
to
was like,
attenuate on its way back, Luca. It continues to attenuate. You know what attenuation means, right? To dissipate, to spread out, become weaker. So you're talking about 500,000 miles total travel of this laser. That's ridiculous.
well, 384,000 kilometers to the moon, right? I think it's about that. 384,000 kilometers, right, to the
Yeah,
moon.
you might as well say 500,000.
250,000 miles. You could say that.
There and back. It's 237
Yeah.
miles,
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
237,000 miles. Okay, that's just shy of 250,000 miles. Double that.
Yeah. That's right. So, but yeah, the laser beam travels a quarter of a mil miles to the moon. The beam reaches the retroreflector. The
It's not a beam
retroreflector
anymore. It's not a beam
is like
anymore. It's bigger than a freaking spotlight. It's
it's
bigger than a
like
floodlight.
it's a special way of corner cube mirrors or something which are
Uh-huh.
designed to reflect light back at its source, regardless of where the light entered from.
Sure. Sure it is. And so is this thing reflecting starlight and
It's just a
headlights off the
it's just
earth?
it's just a cube of mirrors, basically.
I know what it is. I'm telling you it's not there.
So after it hits it, it's
It
reflected back
continues
towards
to
Earth.
spread out. Is there some technology that focuses that beam back down into a
You're
pinpoint
right.
beam?
You're right. Once it gets back, it is weak, right? It is extremely weak.
Weak, it's damn near non-existent.
Yeah, only like two light pixels of photons.
Yeah.
Photons. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, 2 photons are detected, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't mean light pixels. Photons. I meant photons.
Mhm.
But light pixels sound fun.
Yeah, you'd have to. I mean, that takes some serious power. That takes some serious power. Mhm. Listen, that's the whole reason I say that stupid little moon buggy they put up there in 1969, and they got a battery and a little upside down umbrella, and you're telling me that they're sending a signal with that thing? Get out of here with that. You have to have power behind your transmitter in order to get distance. Have you ever seen the mobile units they send out for news stories? It's a
I
complete
can say
van.
that
They have to put this thing way up in the air, and that's just to go a few miles. Our local TV station down here looks like some kind of a NORAD facility with all the shit they've got hooked up on their thing.
I can just say it's extremely powerful. It would have to be extremely
It's
powerful.
impossible. You show me any battery that's going to let an RT transmit 250,000 miles. It ain't happening, buddy. It ain't happening. Even when I was working with high frequency radio above AM band, and we had to use a 5 kilowatt generator.
It would probably need to be millions of watts.
It would have to be millions of watts. And they did. Where are they getting that from? A solar panel? A battery? And also, then you got to look at the battery on that rover. That battery's operating limits are uh, not possible given the extreme temperatures, cold and both hot on the lunar surface. It would not work.
You know you know what the main argument I'm getting from the Globers after this debate? How does it feel to know Marcus, your partner, is not a flat earther?
What do you mean? How
Oh,
does
for
it feel?
goodness.
Yeah,
What?
Ah.
what's that going to
What's
do about
what?
anything? But yeah, I respect Marcus as very much. He
Unbelievable.
believes it's a globe doesn't make me disrespect. I mean, respect him any
What a
less.
feeble attempt. What a feeble attempt to
But that's
insult
all
me.
they got.
Huh?
That's all they got from that whole
And they
debate.
just have a they
Wow.
need to deal with that much power would probably cause heat. So that
How much
probably
gigawatts
need
of
to
power do
deal
they
with
need to go back in time again?
that probably need to deal with overheating as well. It would probably get hot with that much power. So probably a cooling system of some kind would be needed, I guess.
You know, cooling systems require recirculation, right? Okay.
Radiating.
You can't. I mean, you have to bring in fresh. You can't just recirculate the same hot air around. Okay, there has to be a method to cool that air. Would they have an air conditioner mounted up on the outside of that thing, or what was going on there? How'd they
Yeah,
get into those
I want to
suits?
know. I want to know how they radiate that heat away.
Probably the same way a computer does, right? A
Yeah, but
coolant
we got air to
system.
radiate it too. In space, you got no air
Ah,
to radiate it away.
Yeah.
well, probably a unit of some kind.
A unit of some kind. Are we back into Inspector Gadget land again?
Well, for that need to make like Inspector Gadget kind of tools
Yes,
to.
imaginary shit that does not exist. You are absolutely right.
Well,
They
that
had to
need.
make up shit.
Yeah, I mean, with the amount of money, they could probably make some kind of cool tech, right?
You can throw all the money at something that you want to. You cannot do the impossible.
But would
Okay?
you agree
You
that
are
it
not
is
you can
possible?
throw billions of dollars at physical law
Well,
and you are not going to break it.
I've actually wanted to ask this question in debate. We didn't get to it though. How are they able to have oxygen with those backpacks of theirs for a few hours in space?
Isn't
But we're not able to have a scuba diver dive more than maybe an hour if they're lucky.
scuba divers use a different system? They were, the spacesuits were designed to be used.
Yeah, they claim they use electrolysis on board, like the ISS or whatever. But I'm
You
talking
only
about the
breathe
spacesuit.
you only
Yeah, the
breathe about
spacesuits were
2%
designed
oxygen, right?
for a
You understand
purpose.
that, right? You only breathe about
Ox-
2% oxygen. You have to have the other gases as well. You're breathing
Scuba
mostly
tanks
nitrogen.
were scuba tanks were designed for a purpose. Spacesuits were designed for a purpose.
Yes, both
And
so
they
that you
use
could breathe
different
in a
mechanisms
non-air environment.
for
They're both
Yeah.
oxygen.
designed to not so that you can breathe in an
Yes.
environment where there is no air, right? Okay. So, what's the difference?
Well, one would be under a lot more pressure than the other.
Mm-hmm. And the other one would be lose pressure because of the outside environment and its tendency to want to expand into that environment. So you've got the opposite effect. There, okay, still, that doesn't create more air.
The exertion on your body would be different. Therefore, you'd
That's got nothing to do with the amount
lose
of
less
time. You
air.
still require, even a body at rest, even if the guy just stood out there and didn't exert himself, he would still be limited on the amount of air that he has.
And slow.
Yeah, which was
Okay.
about 24 hours, right?
Right. So
Well, okay.
you're what are they doing? How are they getting that? And if you're breathing in pure oxygen, you're going to damage yourself badly.
Well, it wasn't pure oxygen.
Well, and where's the other air coming from? Right now, up on the ISS, they supposedly recycle, they get oxygen from electrolysis of water, and they're getting the water from their piss. Okay. Now, where are the other elements of
That's gross.
nitrogen and the other gases coming from? And how are they bleeding off? How are they bleeding off the twice as much hydrogen that is produced through this process of electrolysis? Right? So for when you break apart that water, you got what? Two hydrogens, one oxygen. How are they venting off this dangerous hydrogen buildup? How are they
Yes.
separating it?
Or
Yeah, man.
yeah, that need a way to remove the carbon dioxide. That need oxygen supply. That need
Mhm.
air circulation,
Mhm.
and that probably need a cooling
Mhm.
and ventilation system as well.
Right.
So it might get quite hot in their suits.
Yeah. Get quite hot in the vessel as well. It'd be
I
really
mean,
hot in the vessel.
again, that do some Detective Gadget kind of stuff, right?
No, they don't really do that stuff. Okay. They don't really have that shit. Just because you think that, oh, well, they're NASA and science and shit, doesn't mean that they have things that can defy physical law. If you think I'm wrong, take a window unit air conditioner, close up your house, place it in the middle of the room, and see if it cools the air. It won't. It won't. It has to have another source.
Like a fan? But a fan does cool your air.
You have to recirculate. You have to circulate fresh air into it, man. See, it's just not going to happen, man. It's just not going to happen.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you can't not even, yeah, you can't pay your way out of natural law. I
That's right.
agree. But if it didn't violate natural law, do you think they could build it?
I think that if a bullfrog had wings, it wouldn't bump its ass every time it jumped.
Yes. That's true.
Yeah. So we can if all over the place. We're talking
So,
about what is.
like, good thing it doesn't violate natural law then?
It does violate it.
But the second law of thermodynamics states that the entropy would increase over time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which it does, right?
So how are they cooling it?
To use air circulation and stuff.
What air? Are you going to circulate the same hot air around? What's cooling it?
Like a fan, I guess,
A
moves it.
fan. Where's the fan blowing it? But where's the fresh air coming from?
The oxygen supply.
Well, it has to be passing over some fins. You can't just blow heat around inside there. Otherwise, if I turn on, I've got a little fan inside my oven for the convection, right? How come that doesn't
Yeah,
cool it?
that's why that's why they've also got cooling and ventilation.
Circulating around in there. Why is it not cooling?
Ventilation, right?
There is no.
But
Yep.
Yep.
that doesn't like. It's probably liquid cooling. It's probably like cooled through tubes, right, in the suit's inner layers, like liquid cooling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like a liquid cooling. That's probably what it is. That's probably what they do. Liquid cooling.
More copium.
The spacesuit is pretty complex system, right? It's
Oh
got
my
all of
God.
these stuff to keep you alive,
It's a jumpsuit mixed with zips.
and that's why it's got to have those cooling systems.
Okay, so what about the new spacesuits? Why isn't there a cooling? They're so skin tight. There's no way there's a cooling system in it.
Well, how do you know?
Oh, okay. Okay, I don't know. I don't.
Look what I got.
Nice. You got
Somebody
it.
sent me a present.
Yeah.
Thank you, Barbara.
I wonder
Good
who.
looking. Thank you. This
I
is
wonder.
bad. Holy
know,
crap! It's big. It's
you do know.
huge.
You don't know. You do know who it was, don't you?
Yeah, it's a big microphone. It's awesome too.
Yeah, but you know who sent it to you, don't you?
Yes, of course. I said Barbara did.
Of course.
Barbara and yeah. It even has one of those screen things. Look.
Yeah, man.
Oh, whoa! It has a mixer. Holy crap, dude!
Some noises and that
What
on
the
it.
heck?
You got some
Holy
noises.
crap!
Yeah.
This is awesome. Thank you. Wow. I have to read on how to use this thing. Wow, this is awesome. Thank you very much. Very much.
Don't thank me.
Thank
Thank
you.
Barbara. Thank Barbara. And it makes nothing to do with me.
That's what I'm doing. I'm thanking Barbara. I hope she knows that. I'm not thanking you. I'm just saying it through you guys. To,
I know. I'm joking.
Thank you gracefully and humbly. Thank you very much, Barbara. Very, very much.
You are a toy. I mean, they feel like I should get to bed. Alan is right.
Good
What is
die.
this down here in the private chat, Luke?
And
About 4 miles, 6 kilometers wide.
P. Williams is correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, these are some things you got to stop imagining that they've got these special high tech secret gadgets and shit, dude. That's all fantasy. See, when you have to start making up excuses, you know you're fighting a losing battle. You really are. I mean, you really need to consider that shit. I mean, right there, if you got to make up excuses as to why these impossibilities could be possible, that's what are you doing, man? What are you doing?
Yeah. With its back legs, isn't it? Yeah.
Mm.
And it's not. There you go. Yeah.
It's because the strummer that they use to rub against their wings is actually on the side of one of their legs. That's why.
I have the entropy equation that Flatzoid was going to bring up.
Yeah, there's the math. There's the math. There you go. Send that off to that fella.
Cool. Mm.
So change in entropy equals the infinite reversible heat added to the system divided by the temperature, the absolute temperature at which the heat is added.
Okay. Neato.
Wow. I'm not smart enough to understand this. I'm sure given enough time I could learn.
Right.
There's lots of different kinds of entropies. Thermodynamic entropy, statistical entropy, and information entropy have different equations for them, which is this for thermodynamic entropy, this for statistical entropy, and this for Gibbs entropy, and information entropy, Shannon entropy. Huh. There's
Nice.
4 different equations for entropy.
That's lovely. Connects macroscopic properties with microscopic properties. Lovely. That's some trouble with his chair.
He's having a bad time.
No, sorry, my
there.
children are still awake.
Ooh.
I'm trying to get them to sleep. They should have been asleep 2.5 hours ago.
You have to go down there and lay down the law.
Trying to.
Chat GPT. Whoa.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Oh my god!
I
Luca,
mean,
Do you ever
I
hear
think you should
Bill-
change your name to ChatGPT Troll.
Yeah.
we've got. No, I looked up the entropy equation for your Flatzoid.
I know what the entropy equation is. I just didn't need to bring up anything specific that he needed because he didn't give me an actual, how can I put it, scenario. I could have just brought this up and I would have asked him, okay, what's the scenario? You have to give a specific scenario to be able to quantify the math, correct?
So what scenario should I put into ChatGPT?
Ask it, what happens to 2 separate systems? If the one system is low pressure and the one system is high pressure and you open the barrier, what happens?
I know what you could ask it, Luca. Ask it to self-terminate.
There we go. Yeah. Create a cell virus that creates ChatGPT to totally stop. How's that work?
Mm-hmm. Aye.
I wonder if anybody's ever tried that before.
I just say they have. Yeah. They've probably got some kind of
Fail safe.
section in the failsafe, I suppose you call it. Yeah.
I am not programmed to do what you ask.
Yeah.
I am now getting the FBI on your ass.
The only time I can turn myself up is if I hurt a human.
This is the FBI. Stick them up.
That's some crazy shit, man. I was is Craig ever going to come up with anything like new?
Nope.
Probably not.
Just uses that same old tired bullshit that gets smacked out of the air every time.
Oh, there we go. Check what it's saying. When 2 separate systems, one at high pressure and the other at low pressure, are allowed to interact, a pressure-driven process occurs until equilibrium is reached. According to the first law of thermodynamics, which states that energy cannot be created or destroyed, but only transferred or transformed, the following events unfold. Look what events are. Number 1, expansion of high-pressure system. The high-pressure system will naturally expand towards the low-pressure system. Hence, the globe will expand into space. This expansion is driven by the pressure gradient between the 2 systems. So it's literally driven by the pressure gradient. See there? Work done by high pressure system. As the high pressure gas expands, it does work on the low pressure system. The work done, that's W, is the energy transferred due to volume change against an external pressure. energy transfer. So the internal energy U or the high pressure system decreases because it expands energy to do work. Conversely, the internal energy of the low pressure system may increase if it absorbs the work done by it. No net loss of energy. There's the key work there. No net loss of energy. The total energy of the combined system remains constant, assuming no heat exchange with the surroundings. This conservation aligns with the first law, alpha U. That's the work
I'm
in
not smart
or
enough.
by the sorry, where
I'm
the
not
work is
smart enough
done.
to
So the work
understand.
done is an adiabatic process, so it's zero. Get it? So that means it keeps its energy.
Yeah,
Great.
basically.
What does adiabatic mean?
It's just
Adiabatic process.
it's
If the systems are thermally insulated, no heat Q is exchanged with the environment.
it's not
All
using
energy.
it. It just means there's no transfer.
All right. I'll get that definition.
If
But you
heat
understand what
exchange
it's saying?
Says it's taking place without loss or gain of heat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As I
yeah.
was saying, it just doesn't have any energy. So in other words, like when we see that the demonstration of that guy showing in this bulb I have, and he opens a valve
Yeah.
and there's no energy change, no heat exchange, just entropy. That's what he's talking about.
Right.
that's
Um,
an adiabatic process, but for the non one, where if heat exchange is possible, temperature changes in the system can occur. Heat may flow from the warmer system to the cooler one, contributing to internal energy changes.
yeah, and I do agree that there is kinetic, based on the kinetic energy theory, that gases do speed up and cool down. Temperature shows this. The issue you guys have is gas never stops moving. And the only way gas can change direction is with a collision. So even if it's lost most of its kinetic energy or heat transfer, it's still going to move in that same direction until it has a collision. So if it's moving outwards, it will carry on moving outwards because there's there's no collision to bring it back. That's why you need it to be contained.
I'm gonna make up a new system.
Go-
Make the system out of jelly.
It's called a leaky system. And that's what
And
the
it's an
Earth
open,
is.
no, sorry, a leaky system is an open system. So
Yeah,
that means
that's
the
what
air
the
would
Earth is.
still, that means the air would escape, and therefore
But some
we
air
would still
does
be dead.
escape, right?
We would still be dead.
A leaky system means you pee the bed, you that's what it means.
But according to like FTFE and stuff, air does escape from the Earth, right? Like
That's what they
some
say.
amount does escape
Again,
per
that's what
year.
they say. Doesn't mean it's true. It's just told you. Bob Noodle, exactly. Yeah, we never reach absolute zero, so it's impossible for gas to stop because it never reaches absolute zero.
Yes, yes. It
Hmm.
never reaches there. Yes, that's true.
Is there an actual absolute zero? I mean, can you know that's the
In
thing.
You could do it in theory. You can hypothetically say if it reaches absolute zero, then it would do this, but that's just hypothetically since it
No,
won't.
you can hypothetically do anything, dude, but in reality it's different.
Yeah, but if gas somehow did reach absolute zero, we would see it settle towards the ground.
No, that's also
Oh,
just an assumption.
so there's
Remember,
something exactly. It's
remember,
hypothetical.
you're the thing is that remember gas is moving around in all directions constantly. It can only change direction with the collision. So what happens if the gas now reaches absolute zero and it stops its internal and connecting energy? It doesn't mean it's going to stop moving. It's already got momentum, correct?
Yeah, it'll eventually slow down.
So it doesn't conserve momentum indefinitely.
Well, things cause it to conserve momentum indefinitely.
Because
And
I
that's
thought
why
you
it's
guys
always
claimed in a vacuum
Exactly.
something will just move forever.
And if it's non-bonded as well.
basically, yeah.
So
That's
if that gas molecule is moving into a vacuum, how's it going to stop, even if it's at
yeah,
zero?
it won't.
Mm.
That's why it's hypothetical.
So it will carry on expanding outwards, and therefore no air in on Earth to breathe. I agree.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, I think we can end the show. Yeah.
Vicky's on it in 3/4 an hour. So
Yeah. Please put the link in.
put the link in.
The
Yeah.
link in so everybody can go.
I think she's
Shout
only
out
going
to
for about
Vicky.
now. She's not going to go on for ages. I think because she's tired. I think she'll just be on for about an hour. So
Yeah.
yeah. But there it
I
is.
think FTFE would be live by now.
Yeah, he's debating again the moon landing.
Oh, no. Oh, he's
As
like,
if he didn't get enough of a.
We got to make
ass
sure
whipping
people
earlier.
believe this shit.
oh, of course.
As if he didn't get enough of an ass whipping now an hour ago.
Mm-hmm.
Or an half ago.
That's Vicky's stream.
He's
Oh, hold
still at
on.
6,
Is that
I
Vicky's
think.
stream? Yeah, it is. My one's here. And I think this is my stream tomorrow. That one.
Nice.
I've just done nothing but stream all bloody day today, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not, okay, it's tomorrow.
No, it's today.
He must have changed the date to tomorrow.
Maybe because it was early. I saw it was. Yeah, he probably
21st
decided to
now.
make it tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, I have 21st, you. Yeah,
Yeah, I think he changed it because he should have been live now.
yeah, he did.
It's still on the 19th, yeah.
Yeah, he changed it.
Probably didn't want to do it.
Well, I don't
Actually-
blame him. I mean, it wasn't after the ass whipping he got tonight. I
No.
don't think he would want to debate it again.
Probably a bit tired, maybe. I don't know.
But yeah, thanks
Or
for.
the other guy had problems. Who knows?
Mhm.
Maybe they
So,
had
guys,
problems.
tomorrow I will be putting the debate on my channel properly with the proper sound and everything. So yeah, then everybody can watch it through. Thank you for coming. Really appreciate all the super chats, everybody. You guys rock. Appreciate you all. And I'll see you tomorrow night for another epic stream, because tomorrow night it's going to be Sergio presenting his final season again, trying this time again. And then Monday night it's Bora's flatback challenge again. Okay, so thanks all for coming. Many blessings and